foremost, obviously, just want to thank you all for being here this morning to celebrate this amazing group of young student athletes who will be continuing on to participate in their sport at the college level, which is quite an amazing accomplishment. So really appreciate everyone arranging their schedules and student athletes getting up early on a Hiller day to come be here. We thought the breakfast might draw you in, so hopefully that's treating you well. So we're obviously going to need to start off with a few acknowledgments of all the people who not only are making this morning happen, but who really help fuel our athletic department in general and help us run. So I want to start off by thanking our central office administration. They have been incredibly supportive of athletics, of all the crazy ideas that we have and things that we do, and allow us to run with them, and some of them here today. So I want to thank them for all of their support. The school committee, who also hears and entertains all of our ideas and supports them, and they're just such advocates for student programs and the enhancement of student experience here at the Hopkinton Public Schools. So we're very, very grateful for that. Want to take a second to talk about our administration. Mr. Bishop, Mr. Hanna, and Mr. Pominville, who, as you guys know, you can see everywhere, I think is the most visible administration I've ever seen, both in my time as a student growing up and in my time as an educator. They are such supporters of all student programs, not just athletics, but I think, of course, hold athletics near and dear to their heart. They're all athletes who continued on to be involved in athletics at the collegiate level and then coaching. So this is something that I think that they understand the importance of, and frequently we'll get together and talk and say how much our athletic experience drives who we are today, has influenced who we've become as professionals, as parents, as family members, friends. So it's really cool to have that level of support and engagement at our building level. Obviously, our custodial staff, who does all the behind-the-scenes work for us, making sure our facilities are clean. And Larry's not here today, and I know we're going to have a big-time loss when he retires in a week, I think. So want to thank him and his staff, our maintenance staff who gets our fields ready and inside our building, our technology staff who helps set up all of our technology, HCAM, who, as you guys know, is at absolutely everything, live streaming your games now, which I've heard from both them and a lot of parents that's been an amazing opportunity for them to have access to when they can't get out of work or they're on a business trip, and instead of missing their son or daughter's competition or game, they're able to watch it from overseas or just their office. So really want to thank them for being such great supporters. Our local newspaper and media outlets. You guys, I don't know if you understand how lucky we are to get the coverage that we do. A lot of credit goes to you guys for all of your accomplishments and deserving that coverage, but they do a really amazing job between the Metro West Daily News, the Independent, and the Globe, Herald, all of these papers for covering our school and honoring our student athletes. Obviously, want to thank the Spoon for being here today and being up so early to provide this breakfast for all of you. The Hopkinton Boosters Club, which I can't say enough about. They support everything we do, and sometimes you guys probably don't even know all the enhancements that they support to make our programs run and to have you guys well dressed at times and have equipment that we otherwise might not have that are enhancements to our program, and for providing this breakfast this morning, and for the HPTA, who is also a supporter of making this breakfast happen. Lastly, I want to thank Catherine Henry, our athletic trainer, who joined us this year, who has made an immediate impact. And some of you, I wish you haven't had to see her, but you have had to see her due to your injuries or doing some rehab, and watching her in action in the way that she does her job to keep athletes safe, help them rehab, and also just does all the behind-the-scenes stuff that sometimes you don't know about also that has nothing to do with her job as an athletic trainer, like being here this morning, setting up tablecloths. She's not getting paid for that, but she's here doing it. Mrs. Sanborn, who I literally would be sinking without, and she's probably not even here because she vacates every time I might say her name because she does not like the recognition. And then I want to take a few minutes to acknowledge a few groups. Our teachers and counselors here not just at Hopkinton High School, but in the district, who have supported you guys many of you since kindergarten, since you entered Hopkinton Public Schools. They are such advocates for you, support you as student athletes, right? Because that's what you are student athletes who are at your games, watching what you do, following you, coming to the TD Garden when you play in a state championship on their Sunday just to watch you play. Those are people that really care. Your coaches. Can't say enough about your coaches. It is a job that I think most of them don't consider to be a job because they're not getting paid millions for it. They do it because they love it. They love the sport. They love having an impact on all of you. They love infusing their love for the sport into young people. And I think for them to see that love has really been instilled and that you guys continue on to the next level is so exciting for a coach. And what they do, the time they spend, I think sometimes it doesn't show up anywhere. The sleepless nights after a game, replaying a million things. Oh, did I say that right to that athlete? Did I do that right? When you're in season, it's a sleepless time for most coaches, but a really, really rewarding one. And so hopefully this day, for those who are here, get to have that moment of celebration with all of you. And then I wanted to take a second to thank all the parents who are here. And I think that student athletes, some of you really, really know this and feel this, and some of you will know this and feel this as you get older. But what your parents have done to provide the opportunities for you that you have today, all the sacrifices that they make that probably don't feel like sacrifices, but that are, all those weekends at tournaments and events and things where their yards aren't getting raked or meals aren't getting cooked or different things aren't happening because they're taking you around. They love doing it, but it's a ton of work. And when I was in high school and going all over creation to AAU tournaments, I thought my parents just lived for it. Like, they didn't have anything else to do. They just wanted to take me to all my games. And they did love it, but now as a parent, I can see, oh my gosh, I do not know how they did that. All of that while having multiple children and trying to run a household and have jobs and all of those things. So student athletes, I really want you to take a second and really feel that gratitude for your parents and all that they've done, not just in terms of all the legwork getting you to this point, but also I look around and there are just so many familiar faces from the sidelines and at the different events who are so supportive of not just you, but the entire program that you're part of. And it's amazing to see that. So I really want to thank this parent group from the bottom of my heart for being so supportive of Hopkinton athletics, so supportive of your sons and daughters, and really thank you for enjoying watching them participate, because it's really fun to see you out at events, having fun at them. So thank you so much for that. And then students. There's a lot that I could say to you, but you have people who maybe have better words of wisdom to offer today than I can. But congratulations sincerely to all of you. This is a really amazing and unique opportunity. We have 31 members of your graduating class going on to participate in collegiate athletics. That is crazy. 31 of you. Not the norm, but absolutely speaks to the level of commitment that you've had, the love for the game that you play or that you participate in that you have. That is just, in years past, we've had, good numbers. This is the highest number that we've ever had go on to participate in collegiate athletics. And the work ethic that you possess, the commitment that you've had is unparalleled. It's not an easy thing to do. And I think some of you just sort of, you love it, so you do it. And probably because you guys don't have a spare second in your day most of the time, don't get a second to reflect on all that you've done to get yourself to this point. And it's truly incredible. And so today, the purpose of today is really for you to take that breath and take a moment and say, wow, this is pretty cool, what's happening here. And I'm excited and maybe a little bit nervous, which is normal, but what an opportunity that I'm gonna have to take a step out of where I've been comfortable for a lot of years and embark on the next phase of my journey as a student, but also as an athlete. And I think that you will find that there will continue to be sacrifices and continue to be hard days, but that you're going to say to yourself, that was all worth it, and what I got out of that was just so amazing, and I can apply it to so many different aspects of my life. So I hope that you guys can soak this in, this moment, soak in the rest of your high school seasons for those of you who are still playing. If you're not participating in a sport this spring, that you're able to still soak in your high school experience and be part of it and enjoy it, because it does, you guys know now, right, as you're sort of approaching the end, that it goes by quicker than you think it does, and to really look around at your classmates who are here with you today in this cafeteria, but also out in the classroom, out on the fields, when you're with each other socially, and say, this is good stuff, and it's really special, and I feel lucky to have had that experience. So this is a piece of advice that someone gave me at my wedding once, which was kind of weird, but it was one of the best pieces of advice I ever got, right? Because you get caught up in the crazy, busy moment, and someone was like, at one point in your wedding, like, take a step back for 2 minutes and just like look at everyone who's there around you, and look at all these people who are there supporting you, who love you, who are excited for you. And I did that, and I will never forget that moment. And I wish that someone gave me that advice when I was in high school about my athletic career and my high school career and then my college career and all those kinds of things, because it was really special to kind of take pause for a minute and step back and say, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. So I hope that you guys can take a moment to do that today, and that you embrace it, and that you look at your opportunity ahead of you as a celebration of what's already happened and an exciting adventure to come that I think that all of you guys are ready for, and I hope super excited for. So I wish you well. I'm so honored to be here and to have watched you over the past 3 years in my role as athletic director, but 4 for all of you who have participated, because I love to come to games before that was my title too. And it's been a real honor, not just to get to know you as athletes, but when I look around the room, and I think everyone can attest to this, to get to know you as people, because you're outstanding athletes, but you're better people. And you'll find that that's the stuff that actually counts in life. So as we continue on in our program today, I'm going to give you guys a little idea of what else we have in store. So I'm going to call each athlete up by name, okay? Acknowledge the college that you'll be attending and the sport that you'll be playing, and you'll get an opportunity to have a photo. And thank you to Mr. Tarosian and Mr. Nappy, who you guys all know, who are at everything, who will be taking photos and who are taking video so that you can have this moment, and you guys always send these along so quickly after, which is awesome. So parents, feel free, you can take pictures after, but there will be pictures in the moment taken for you as well on the professional level, which is pretty nice. And then after we do that, I'll do a quick introduction of our guest speaker, our keynote speaker today, who we're super lucky to have. And then you get to continue on with your day, and keep your fingers crossed that it stops raining. Enough rain. Okay? Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And on to the fun stuff, where we get to let you know where everyone's going and where they'll be participating. So, like I said, I'm going to call your name and let you know what college that individual will be attending, what sport they'll be participating in, quick picture, and then we'll rotate through, okay? Awesome. All right, we are going to start with Caitlin Abbott, who is attending Western University and will be participating in cheer. You can come stand right in front of the background and put on your best smile. Next, we have Mia Ardilla, who will be continuing on to California State University for beach and indoor volleyball. Corey Bannon, who will be attending Wheaton College to play men's lacrosse. Jack Brennan, who will be continuing on to Norwich University to be a member of the men's diving team. Natalie Calkins, who will be going on to Merrimack College to participate in women's lacrosse. Theo Cavallo, who will be going to Western New England University to play football. Grace Kavanaugh, who will be continuing on to Occidental College to participate on the swim team. Luke DeLoya, who will be attending Colby College to play football. Tyler Doherty, who will be attending Kenyon College to play football. Anna Feng, who will be attending the University of Pennsylvania to participate in women's swimming. Zach Frank, who will attend Sacred Heart University for men's lacrosse. Cole Glassburn, who will continue on to Catholic University to play baseball. Megan Halloran, who will attend Assumption College to play women's golf. Katie Hawley, who will attend Manhattan College to play softball. Abby J., who will be attending Stonehill College to participate in women's golf. Ryan Kelleher is not with us today, but he'll be attending Salve Regina to play football. Next, we have Brendan Kelly, who will continue on to Stonehill College to play baseball. Olivia Kershey, attending Salve Regina University to play women's ice hockey. Next, we have Sydney McDonald, who will attend Vassar College to play women's soccer. We have Ben McKenzie, who will be continuing on to Bowdoin College to play baseball. We have Corinne Messier, who will be attending Bentley University to play women's soccer. Next, we have Lily Morningstar, who will be continuing on to college to play basketball and is undecided because she's undergoing second ACL surgery. But anyone who's seen her play knows she's going to be playing in college, so. Lucas Moynihan's not here with us today, but he'll be attending Salve Regina University to play football. Next, we have Andrew Paleko, who will be attending MIT to play men's lacrosse. Ben Powers also cannot be with us today, but will be attending Norwich University to play football. Next up, we have Lydia Rudden, who will be playing women's lacrosse at Stonehill College. Steven Simos will be joining his teammate Ben at Bowdoin College to play baseball. Kyle Stuckel will be joining some of his teammates and classmates at Salve Regina University to play football. Brianna Toko will be attending the University of Rhode Island to participate on the women's diving team. Gabby Wielding will be attending the University of Massachusetts at Lowell to participate on the women's soccer team. And last but certainly not least, we have Emily Whalen, who will be going on to the University of Massachusetts Amherst to participate on the softball team. Pretty impressive group, huh? Let's give them one more big round of applause. I now have the distinct pleasure of introducing to you your keynote speaker for today. And what we've done the past few years at this event is bring back a Hiller alum who has had an amazing high school career and has also continued on to participate in collegiate athletics to just share a few words of wisdom, a little bit about their experience, but also maybe some tips that might help you along the way. So today I'm introducing to you a Hopkinton Hiller who has left a great legacy here at HHS. Mr. Mark Ostrander was a three-sport all-star in football, basketball, and baseball. As quoted by Mr. Hanna, he says, Mark played in one of the, if not the biggest, Hopkinton High School football victory over a Ricky Santos-led Bellingham team. He was a team, league, and playoff MVP, a 2004 baseball state champion, a Globe All-Scholastic, a member of the Division I University of Maine baseball team that made multiple NCAA appearances during Mark's tenure there. He was the America East Tournament MVP and was invited to enter the Major League Baseball draft and had multiple tryouts with Major League Baseball teams. Mark was inducted into the 2016 Hopkinton High School Athletic Hall of Fame. He currently resides in Hopkinton with his wife Tiffany and his two children, Everett and Amelia, and works as a director of strategic accounts at his company Integrate. Mark has used much of what he learned during his educational and athletic experience to shape who he is as a professional and as a person. And because Mark's coaches in high school are still around, most coaching and actively involved, I was very fortunate to get a few quotes from some of them about Mark and about his time here in Hopkinton as an athlete. His football coach, Coach Hughes, says, Mark was a 4-year starter, 4 years all-league, a great leader, a great athlete, and most importantly, a great role model. He was also a 4-year student athlete, which meant that he was on the honor roll all terms of high school. We were lucky to have him don the Hiller uniform. He was an absolute pleasure to coach. Coach Keene, who coached Mark in basketball. I first met Mark as an elementary school student when he began attending the Bliss Camp. As a youngster, Mark stood out as a player with unbridled enthusiasm for all sports. He distinguished himself from his peers with his sincerity, politeness, and a high level of maturity at a very young age. Over the years, I was able to watch Mark grow from a respectful young boy into a conscientious and hardworking young adult. As a Hiller basketball player, Mark gave maximum effort at every practice, supported his teammates in all situations, and was greatly respected by all of them. By consistently giving his teammates advice and encouragement, as well as putting forth tremendous effort on the court, Mark was able to contribute to teams that qualified for the state tournament. During his high school years, Mark demonstrated the utmost respect for everyone with whom he came into contact: coaches, officials, opponents, teammates, and the game itself. After 23 years of coaching, Mark was one of the most athletic and impressive players that I have ever coached. And lastly, from Coach Simos, who's still sticking around here coaching baseball for us. Mark Ostrander is among the all-time great Hopkinton High School athletes. In my 27 years at Hopkinton High School, few student athletes have represented our school so well. A wonderful brother, son, husband, and father, Mark epitomizes all that we hope for from our players. On a selfish note, Mark's ability afforded me a unique opportunity and lifetime memory. Having been heavily scouted for the Major League Draft, Mark was invited to work for the Yankees and Braves on consecutive days. Never afraid to get a free pass, I was fortunate to accompany Mark to these workouts to Yankee Stadium and Turner Field in Atlanta. It is a memory I'll always cherish and appreciate. Hearing from 3 coaches who speak so highly of one individual, yes, because there was outstanding athletic talent, but those quotes are more than his athletic talent. They speak to his character and who he is as an individual. So without further ado, I'd like to thank you all for welcoming Mr. Mark Ostrander back to Hopkinton High School as he shares a little bit about his experience and some meaningful lessons he learned during his journey with you today. Big round of applause for Mark.
Well, some very kind words from some awesome coaches. I appreciate that. I think they probably had to go to Google page 2 or 3 to find some of those. I don't think I provided all that information just about, but appreciate it nonetheless. As you heard, I played 4 years at the University of Maine after spending 4 of my best years here in Hopkinton. It was a wonderful journey, and it's something I'm excited to share a couple tidbits from you. I'm sure you'll kind of go in one ear and out the other, but hopefully there are a couple things that stick. Before I get kind of started on that, I wanted to congratulate all you athletes on your achievement here. Your parents will tell you, your teachers will tell you, coaches will tell you, but you won't realize until maybe a couple years after how truly special these years are and what you've accomplished is. And it's with incredible commitment and discipline and talent that you guys have been able to achieve this. So kudos to you guys on all your hard work. For parents in the room, I wanted to just take a quick minute to talk about that moment maybe in the backyard or maybe in the house where you kind of witnessed something maybe a little different than the other kids in the neighborhood, maybe different than other kids in the house, where you said, wow, this kid might have something a little bit different, whether it be a work ethic or a talent or commitment, competitiveness. It takes a lot of fuel and to foster that talent and to watch it grow. And there's a lot of selflessness that goes into that. And whether it be long rides or late dinners, practices, coaching, you guys were likely very much their first coach. And I think if you guys wouldn't mind, I'd love to get a round of applause for the parents for everything that they've done for you over the last 17 to 18 years. So this first little tidbit that I'll give you is something that it took me probably 2 or 3 years to really embody, and that's experience your school for everything it has to offer. You guys in your respective teams, you're going to show up at school, you're going to have 12, 24 football players, you're going to have 50 kids.
At this time, all students should be in their period 5 class. There will be no national anthem today due to a presentation in the cafeteria.
Wow. I like to consider myself patriotic, but you're going to have 20, 30 teammates that have very similar makeup, very similar background. You're going to connect with them. They're probably going to be your roommates on campus, off campus, probably some of your best friends, potentially in your wedding and long-term friends. But you're going to be practicing and playing 6 out of 7 days. The 7th day, the off day, you're likely going to be spending with your teammates just as you do now. When the season starts, whether it's in the fall, the winter, or the spring, you're going to be likely on a coach bus, experiencing a lot of days like this, days in hotels, spending a lot of time with your team. There are thousands and thousands of other kids at your university that I hope you get to meet, that you get to study with, have fun with, and experience different things. There's social groups on campus that you can join outside of the jock group that you will kind of instantly be subscribed to just by the shirts that you guys are all wearing today. And there's some phenomenal people and experiences that are outside of what I'll consider the athletic bubble and the athletic training room in that campus. I mean, it's such a comfort and security blanket and a great transition for anyone, but there's so much to be, I think, experienced outside of just being an athlete, and try to experience as much as you can on the student element, and then see what other things the school has to offer. Secondly, something that I learned as well pretty quickly is don't let the outcomes in competition define your experience in college. My freshman year, I hit a staggering, I think you guys heard the numbers in high school, I had some success. 163 as a freshman, that's 7 hits and 42 at-bats. It was a wake-up call. There were no injuries to speak of, just kind of forgot how to hit a ball. There were some seniors in front of me, some pressure every time I got up in games. It was just, it took a toll on me because as you guys in this room, you've had success probably at every level that you've achieved at this point. And there's the possibility that you won't go on to become a freshman All-American, though my roommate did, and I saw that. And I was like, that's pretty cool. You're hitting 388 and Silver Slugger awards and things like that. So I very much hope for every one of you to experience those accolades. But I think more than anything, there's the possibility that, you know, potential injuries and just talents kind of across within the locker room and then across the field can kind of bring down some of the success and numbers that you may have experienced in college. And you know, it's 4 wonderful years, and if I let 163 get in the way of those 4 years, I wouldn't have been able to, one, come back and have a much better sophomore, junior, senior year, but it's really something that I've seen firsthand with other students, whether it be transferring or dropping off the team, that it's just you are that athlete, but you're not. You're a student, you're a brother, you're a child, you're a sister, you're so much more than that. So if you go in and don't become that freshman All-American right away, you don't have to worry about it. There's going to be a ton of fun, a ton of friends, and a lot of experiences there. So just kind of brace yourself and get ready for maybe a little bit of adversity. But you know, it's something that I think it definitely makes you stronger. But be wary of the fact that, you know, there's much more to on-field success in college that's going to be the makeup of your 4 years. The last little tidbit that I kind of came up with in my head, and then ran across a brother who played at school, ran across my current boss right now, played football at Princeton, and then a couple other guys that I work with, and a lot of my friends. Everyone that I spoke with about this said this was absolutely, number one, the most important skill that you will develop over the 4 years. And for all of the parents, teachers, and coaches here, I would imagine you guys would agree. It is the management of the most valuable resource in the world, which is time management. And I was laughing at this because I was thinking about what time management looks like in high school versus what time management looks like in college. Time management in high school, there's an alarm, there's a parent, there's a sibling, maybe a dog. Get out of the house, get on the bus, let's do this, let's go, get in the shower. Get to school, there are bells. Okay, a bell just went off. Now I go here, now I go there. Everyone's accountable for you. There's a wonderful process, and it allows you, and I think layers a foundation of success in that, you know, every minute of every day is scheduled. And in effect, it's time management. But I mean, if we're being honest, you're not controlling that time management for every second. The school's telling you what to do, practice is telling you what to do. When you get to college, it's a little bit different. You know, your parents leave you in that dorm room, and you have class on Monday at 8, maybe a class at 10, maybe a class at 2. What you do between those classes, before those classes, how late you stay up, you have friends, movies, Netflix, so many distractions to kind of take you away from what was typically kind of the regimented, go from point A to point B to point C. There are a lot of different distractions, and it's really important once you get there to, one, experience that and stay up all night right away and have a ton of fun. But once that kind of comes down, understand that there are going to be tests, there's going to be practice, there are going to be morning workouts. If you're a fall athlete, you'll experience it more than the winter and spring athletes, but there's going to be buses on days like this where you're playing 4, 5, 6 hours away, and you're going to miss your classes. And you're going to have to get on the bus, and you're going to have to find a friend in class to get the notes from, because when you get back on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there's going to be a test. And you're going to have to go about, all right, how do I obtain that information? I've never missed a class in high school. That was one of my, but now you're intentionally missing classes. You're missing classes potentially. I'm going to pick on the Bowdoin guys, but having played baseball up in Maine, we had 50 games in a season, 41 of which were away. So that's 3 weekends a year that you have home games, and we celebrated those in a really big way. But it was about 5 hours from Orono to our next closest opponent in Hartford. Every once in a while we got to play BC, which was only 4 hours, but it was about 5-6 hours to Hartford, and that was our closest trip. So we would spend 2 weeks in Florida, and then kind of work our way south to north via a bus, a Sears bus that you guys will get very familiar with if you're traveling as an athlete. But we kind of worked our way personally from Maryland one weekend, that you typically play a game on Friday, so we'd probably leave Thursday night at about 8, drive all night, get down there at 2 a.m., sleep, wake up, kind of do a workout, maybe get some studying in, then go over to the field, play Friday, Saturday doubleheader, Sunday, leave at about 4 and get in somewhere between 2, 3, 4 in the morning. So it was a wake-up call for sure. But as you guys kind of go through that process, I think it's really important to kind of understand that everyone around you is going through that. There's study hall. There's incredible amounts of academic resources that your university and institutions will make available to you. You're going to need to make the most of that. But that's probably I would think the biggest shock is the commitment to not just the practice in the games, because you've done that before, but traveling within season and getting ready for that. So that's probably the most important skill that I would say that you're going to develop. It's not whether you would develop it, it's when you develop it and how effectively you develop it. And kind of going back to that piece, I just have one thing here. So in speaking to those similar players that I played with about time management, I think looking around, my friends from Hopkinton, I stayed incredibly close with them. They were in my wedding. One played football at Tufts, and then a couple guys played lacrosse at Stonehill and Bentley. But they're very successful. And we in high school, we pushed each other in terms of competition. And it was really fun and different. And that competition never really goes away. And there's a lot of success that's here within this room, and having seen this from some of my friends, you'll continue to push yourselves, the friends that you have today, the friends that you have in college. And having seen it firsthand, I think the time management piece is probably the biggest contributor to long-term success, because you guys are very competitive. You're talented on the field. I would imagine you're articulate. The schools that you guys are going to are phenomenal. If you're able to continue that competitiveness and enable and strengthen your time management, when you combine those things, once your 4 years of school is over, it's not if you'll be successful, it's that you'll be successful at whatever field and job you choose. And I think that's probably the biggest differentiator from some of the friends that I've seen that have had incredible success and being like, gosh, in high school he was, could always in sweatpants and could never get dressed, and now he's one of the youngest CFOs I've ever met in my entire life. And it's, he really got his stuff together in school, and is, just incredible at time management. And you'll kind of get there, and parents will probably laugh. I have a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old, and I thought I had time management down. I really did. I thought work was going well, life was going well, and then you kind of add those in. But it definitely changes over your life. But I think combining the time management with the competitiveness that I'm sure you guys all have here today is going to make you guys successful. Just be prepared for a little bit of adversity when you get to school, long bus rides, not maybe being able to get to every class even though you want to, and try to experience as much as your school as you can. One of the most fun things that I found, you guys are all athletes, is playing intramural sports. I really suggest trying that and maybe not doing it in your sport of specialty, because it's not so much fun for everybody else. But don't tell your coaches, play pickup basketball, play pickup softball, play pickup football, those types of things. It really helps kind of break the ice between the typical grind to kind of go out, have fun. And then when time when time comes, there's the 25-cent wing night and going out and enjoying, all that the school has to offer in your later years in college. But I wish you all so much luck. I'm incredibly proud to sit here in front of 31 incredible athletes that represent the town, the school, your coaches and your teams, and I couldn't wish you any more luck, and hope you guys have a great last month and a half of school, and a great 4 years upcoming.
So obviously some great words of advice and a little bit about Mark's experience helps, give us a little bit of thought into what the next step is. And something that I'll say to you is that you're going to get a lot of those from different people along the way, and that's a good thing. Soak it in, learn from it, and then you got to also just figure out who you are along the way, right? Because lots of people can give different advice, and you got to make it work for you. And so I think one of the best things that I've heard is to somehow, in the midst of this, taking this next step into this crazy fun, a little bit chaotic journey, is to try to do things that help you stay rooted in who you are, right? You're going to be committed, you're going to work hard, you're going to be kind of head spinning sometimes, but don't let go of the things that make you who you are, and that might be a quick phone call home to mom or dad, or a TV show that you love that you're like, okay, if I watch like one episode of The Office a day, that just kind of reminds me what I like. It's simple, and so to enjoy those little pieces of who you are that are actually outside of the athletic arena. But we're so lucky to have had someone like Mark, who's done so much here at Hopkinton High School and then went on to do so much. And again, as Coach Simos said in his quote, most importantly has gone on to be a really incredible person, dad, husband, coach, just person in general. So those are the things that we hope that you guys strive for at some point, and that your athletic and educational journey shapes that. So thank you to everyone for coming out this morning and being here with us to celebrate these absolutely outstanding and amazing young student athletes. We are so grateful for that. Look forward to a lot of state championships this spring, okay? But truly enjoy the ride, have fun, and I know Mr. Terosian would like to get a picture of everyone, and then certainly parents, if you want to take any pictures after anything, you're welcome to stick around and do that. But that concludes the official part of our program. Thank you again. Enjoy the rest of the spring and the rest of your day.
Coach.